Welcome to the Boys to Men podcast. My name is Randall. As you can see, I'm sitting here by myself. Why? Because I feel like it. So we're going to talk about change. But before that, let's cue the intro.
Killer threw that Cardi on my wrist and he said shine. All these diamonds in this bitch will leave a motherfucker blind. Gotta get the feel of it, said I'm next up in line. Motivation to the city, yeah, they know that it's our time. We was waiting up in line, now the line wait for us. Brother see the hoeing nigga since he put up on them bucks. Suckers showing all their hands, but we know that it's a bluff. Real repty with them niggas finna turn the city up. We just...
You know, life is truly what you make it. We all are here with one thing on our mind: to be the best. If you're a man and you're watching this podcast, you want to be the fucking best. You want to be the fucking man. We all want that. And it's like when I was growing up, it was very, very competitive. Like, you know, we was fighting all the time, and it was war. You know, there can only be one. But in these days, everyone can win. Social media has opened up doors that no one's had access to. You know, people who was getting money before wasn't opening doors for us. See, this social media shit opened up doors for anyone to get money, for anyone to have a voice. Everyone has a voice. What do you use your voice for? Like, a lot of people use their voice for negative shit. You know what I mean? Like, you see people just waking up being negative on their phone before they brush their teeth, like Filthy Rich said. Change. So, you know, there's things that are acceptable at younger ages than they are when you get older. Some things that I think that should start dying down as you age are vices. You know, the need to need something to create, the need something to be you. Now, if you are already, well, let's just look at it. Show me a millionaire that has a vice. And I don't mean gambling. I mean like an addiction to alcohol, drugs, anything of those sorts. It's rare because, you know, these guys, you'd be surprised how many people don't even drink. You'd be surprised how many people don't smoke weed. Yeah, they might talk about it, they might be around it, but they don't personally do it. Even Nip said he stopped smoking when it's time to get busy. He might smoke when it's vacation time, but when he's on the grind for that album, when he's on the grind on, you know, where he has to be a professional businessman with Puma and things like that, he's not smoking. So what does that mean? Why do we do it? It's kind of like the same shit. You see these women making music, and shout out to women making good music, but it's hot girl summer shit. Talking about all this shit. Every woman that does that is married. Every woman that is making records about hot girl summer got a man. Married. It's a business, you guys. And the business is what's keeping us at the lowest frequencies. So we got to jump up to these higher frequencies and realize that if you don't got a bag, if you don't got your stuff together, then you shouldn't be doing a lot of these things. Now, if you already set for life, then I gives a fuck what you do. I commend you. Clap it up for you. By the way, if you see I don't got a Ghost energy drink because I gave them up 21 days ago, it's been 21 days. Coffee. Getting rid of those vices. If you don't got a bag, if you are struggling, if you are trying to get your life together, then the first thing you gotta do is get rid of these vices, man. Change. Think about the one thing that's holding you back. If you was like me, if I had $20, you know what I'm gonna do with that $20? I'm gonna smoke it up and drink it up, and then worry about the consequences later. Now, if you can't afford, this is a rule of thumb. If you can't afford your vices, meaning that they're taking from other things, you're not straight, you begging, you don't got no money to do things, but you always high, you always drunk, then that's where, you know, there's a problem. And you know, these are just my opinions, man. Feel your way to the top, man. I'm an advocate for men. So let me come in here saying this and that. I am an advocate for men. I'm trying to tell you what can help you. What helped me? Let's just talk about that. This is what helped me. I got rid of my vices. I was able to double my income. Yeah, I work a 9 to 5 and I double my income. I'm a 6 fig nigga off a job. Why do I walk around with a camera? Because it's passion. See, change. So I've been working 14 years. I didn't work my whole life, but I got this good job where, you know, I was making like $48,000 when I was like 26. That was pretty good back then. And I learned that it was killing me inside. So I was just drinking. I was, like my man just said, Ruben. Shout out to Ruben. What's it called? Gathering Strength Podcast. Like he just said, status quo. Go to work, get high, get drunk, go to work. And I was feeling unfulfilled. I had a job, but I was unfulfilled. So this time around, yeah, I got a job, and I'm feeling good at work. But what makes me feel good as a human being is doing this stuff. Shout out to Pedro Classic, The Real Repty. They giving me an opportunity to be free. You know, Fonte, The Real Repties, all of them, like, they inspire me, and it helps free me because I was trapped. And when I say trapped, yeah, I'm living good, but I'm trapped because I'm holding myself inside. I'm a creative. I like to create stuff, man. I love creating, and that's where I feel good at. Like, I feel good when I pull up with a camera. It started with rap, you know, and the thing is with rap, the only reason why I started rapping, let me tell you guys a story. The only reason why I started rapping is because niggas was lazy. I was working at Burger King, 16 years old, got a job at Burger King. I bought at 16 years old, I had a camcorder. They were called camcorders back then. We was making vlogs at 16. I had a camcorder, studio, Fruity Loops. You had to buy it back then. You guys get it all for free. I had to buy every piece of equipment. I had to buy these programs. Fruity Loops, Cool Edit Pro, Cubase, Dope Mic, interfaces. I built a booth from scratch. My shout out to Kyle. He built me a booth, had all this cool stuff, and no rappers. I went to high school at Price is Rock, so I was the first rapper I met, and we went our separate ways. Then I moved to Seaside. That's the thing. I never had a steady home. I moved to Seaside. I met Prof and Live, and we was going to go to the top. But then I had to move again. So then I moved somewhere else, and I didn't even shout these dudes out. They was flaking on me. How you gonna flake on the person with the studio? This is your dream. So they flaked on me like 3 times. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna rap. I met up with Sir Vons, Lucky, Bars Make Bangers, and we got to work. And I went from 17 years old all the way to about 27 years old pursuing music by myself because no one was trying to work. So, like, if this is your goal, this is your dream, you got to do the work. I go and do so much. And that's why I started rapping, because I already invested all the money in the equipment. I had a lot of pride. I couldn't take an L. See, I can take an L now. I couldn't take an L back then. I was willing to die for that shit. Now I'll just take an L, but whatever. It's good. I'll sell it. I was not selling my equipment. I didn't sell none of my equipment until I had my first kid. Man, I sold everything. I got like $2,000. But yeah, man, you gotta want this shit. And sometimes you got people who don't have money to invest in their purpose, but they got money to invest in alcohol and weed. And that's where the problem comes in, because you can invest in your purpose, get more money, and then get back to the weed and alcohol. I'm not against alcohol and weed or anything. I'm against motherfuckers being violent, continuing to break the law in my age. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have information, you got tools, you gotta do what you gotta do. But eventually, you should have information and enough tools to get out the game and to be more productive with your time. That's what I'm trying to do. So I ain't hating on no one who has to do certain things. But at a certain level, you know, especially if you're my age, I'm 36, you should be doing different things. And that's why I'm trying to create these tools to let people do things like that, to help people do things like that. That's why I got the camera. You know, my main goal was to help someone who was less fortunate become a rapper. That didn't work out, and I met fucking Fonte. I met fucking Pedro, and these motherfuckers are the hardest workers. God bless me with what I was looking for at 16, some motherfuckers who really want it. These guys want it. They work every day. I don't have to rap. They do it for me. They can rap. I could just come up and be like, I got an idea. This is what we should do. Let's try this. I'm like a manager type of person. If I can make all these jobs money, I can make anyone money. Tell you right now, man, I built companies with my bare hands. No, I'm just kidding. I helped Chipotle, though. And I was a manager at McDonald's and Burger King. They made money off me. But they actually want it, man. The real Repties, they want that shit. And it's rare to just meet people who actually want what they say they want. People will say, I want to do this. But their work ethic is totally different. You know, their work ethic doesn't match the need of the job. See, being an entrepreneur, being self-employed is 24/7. 24/7. There is no off days. It's harder than, see, entrepreneurship and self-employed is harder than working a job, because working a job, you know what you're going to do 48 hours. Even going to college, you got a blueprint. Hey, do these courses for these credits, do this for this long, and you're going to graduate. There is no fucking rules to this shit. Even this camera, man, like, this shit's complicated as hell trying to learn. And, you know, but the passion keeps you lit. You got to stay motivated, and you got to stop, and you got to keep investing into this. It's like a black hole. You're going to put in so much, but you're not going to get nothing. You know, and yet, what you get is the experience. Then you can charge based on your experience. So there's money in everything that you do, but you got to put down the vices. I know a lot of people with talent who can't put down the weed, can't put down the alcohol, and they can't change. So that's what this episode is about, change. I want you guys to feel inspired to change. And you just got to ask yourself, what do you want more? To get high or to be successful? What if I told you that those two things don't go together? What if I told you that getting drunk and going to the club every day or every weekend doesn't match with success? It's just not going to work for you. You don't got pretty privilege. A girl can do that, but the man can't do that. You know, you gotta get out there and grind. You gotta grind Monday through Sunday. If you don't want to work a job, you gotta grind harder. If you do not want to work a job, you need to grind harder. And if you're at a job and you want to get out of a job, you gotta grind even harder. Because you get comfortable with the income. See, I'm comfortable making what I make. So I got to grind even harder if I want to get out of it. But I don't want to get out of it. I got a 12-year plan. I'm about to retire in 12 years, and then I'm going to do this. So I got a plan. I just got to wait for time and keep getting better. This is the Boyz II Men Podcast, solo edition. My name is Randall. My intention with this podcast has always been to inspire men to become the best version of themselves by giving them the tools and teaching them how to become the man that attracts what they seek. You can attract anything you want. Life is about creating solutions. You create solutions, you get information, you solve problems, you make it, all right? Let's get it. My wife's about to get home anyway. I just want to do a birthday edition. Today is my birthday, 36 years old, super fucking sober, and not even hitting PRs. I hurt my back, so I can't even hit PRs. And my phone blowing up. Can't even hit PRs, so it's like, what do I do for my birthday? I do a fucking podcast, because I don't drink, I don't smoke. Shout out to Fonte. He taking me along on the Big Sad concert. We're going to do a Beta LA trip. Going to vlog the shit out of that. Shout out to Pedro. We got the Drip Check vlog. Dre the Banger, he got a project coming soon. I'm going to start promoting music on this show. We're going to start doing some freestyle and cyphers. We're going to get live up in here. Boyz II Men, Real Repties, Bay Area music. There's a beautiful music scene in the Bay Area that a lot of people know about, but a lot of people fucking forgot that everything comes from the Bay Area. I'm going to say it again. There's a beautiful music scene in the Bay Area that a lot of people know about, but they forgot that everything comes from the Bay Area. All this shit y'all see around the world, it started here. So let's put the light on where it needs to go. You know, other than the pioneers, of course, you got the E40s, you got the Too Shorts, you got the Filthy Riches, you know, you got the Jay Stallions, Clyde Carson. Who else is the pioneer? Yuck Mouth. You got a lot of pioneers in the Bay Area. But there's some young bucks, you know, my age, who don't get the exposure that they deserve. Shout out to Shooter 7, one of the dopest motherfuckers. He need to be like an executive producer, director type dude, because he's really talented. And I want to get him on here, get his story. So season 2 is going to be special. The reason why I'm waiting to do what I'm doing is because I want to get another camera, so I have 2 angles for the people I want to bring on, so it's more professional. And I also want to open up the doors to people who have not been interviewed. There's a lot of people that don't know how to handle press, and I want to help with that. So those are the things that I am going to be working on. I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to do. I don't talk about it because it's hard. You know, everything's hard, and that's what change is for. If I can change who I am, if I can get better at, you know, managing my time, then I can make time to learn something new. So that's really what it is. You gotta want change. This is Boyz II Men.